that like that one, and with the movie Training Day, how would you like draw the line of what's too much power? What's you get what I'm trying to say? The gray line, good and bad.
Yeah. Well, like when we look at the world, I feel like how do we depower something that is put into place to have power?
Right.
Like whether we like it or not, um, the structures that be, police have that power, and that's what Alonzo is consumed by. He's consumed by the power he has or was given. He thinks he's untouchable. You know what I mean? So, and he gets a rude awakening at the end, right?
Right.
So what is power? What is power? Who has true power? What does power look like? Yeah, exactly, right? Like it's sad to hear that story that you just shared, man. Like some people have the wrong, some people have power and they shouldn't, you know.
Right.
So it could be an individual thing. How do you use your power? Like you have to acknowledge first that you have power, and then that's when you choose which side you stand on with that power that you wield. I think we all have power in some way, shape, or form.
Right.
Some of us don't. Some of us don't realize it. Some of us don't embrace it. Some of us don't utilize it. Um, but we don't acknowledge the fact that if we do have power, we have to use it, and we have to choose a side with that power. So we see the duality between like Hoyt's power and like I feel like Hoyt's character in the end he reclaimed his power.
Right.
Like I don't I think he was very powerless throughout the movie until the moment he decides that he's going to reclaim the power that he should have or whatever, like he was very powerless throughout the film until a certain point, and then he's like, no, I have the power to take this guy down and throw a monkey wrench into his operation and stuff like that. So you see both different kinds of power, good power and bad power,
Right.
being utilized in different ways. Do you agree? Like, what do you think?
Oh, I 100% agree. I was just thinking about what you were saying, and that was really interesting because I was remembering reading that that wasn't the way the movie was originally supposed to end, or that scene wasn't originally supposed to be in the movie.
Really?
Actually, Denzel Washington fought everyone involved in the film and the studio to make sure that his character does end up getting
Got
consequences for his actions
mm,
because he did not want to send the wrong message of I'm going to do this and I'm unstoppable. He wanted there to be consequences to his character's actions.
wow, wow.
It's crazy.
Yeah. Well then, I like. Okay, okay, okay. So this is a good question. So when you think about that, um, does that make you feel like anything bad on this? Like he's trying to show us that when you're bad, you won't survive. You only have like a certain length to survive within that bad, right?
Right.
But in the end, all the bad that you've done will catch up to you, and you get what's coming to you.
Right.
So do you feel like in the world that we live, like that's the fact? Like bad people, they'll exist, or the bad that they do will exist for a certain period of time, but eventually it's not gonna end well for
I
those who are truly bad.
I believe that. I believe in karma. I feel like the devil will use the time while the person looks unstoppable and make it look like the guy will never have to suffer any consequences. But I believe everyone has what's coming to them eventually. Just gotta wait for the right timing, I guess.
Yeah, I don't feel true evil lasts long. There's no longevity in true evil or wreaking havoc on the world that we live, or towards people. Like, no.
Right.
That's why the devil needs that. They need people to kind of make those deals with him and be bad because the devil won't survive without that.
Right.
But
Because he
again,
knows
it does it.
he knows his
Pardon me.
days are numbered.
They're temporary.
Yeah.
They're temporary. So he keeps needing to feed himself or itself to survive. But yeah, never lasts. So yeah, I feel you.
So also, this film dealt a lot with living on the streets and the street life, and I'm not very educated about that stuff, but you I was listening to an episode of the Who and Wow Club, and you work with a lot of homeless people, correct?
I do work with. I do work in the homeless sector. Yeah.
Do you feel like this movie did that justice? It made it feel realistic.
Um, I do think about that. I do think about that moment with the homeless people in the you remember in the alley
Yeah.
in the alleyway. Yeah. No, no, not all homeless people are rapists. Not all homeless people are. I that part didn't. And I'm not saying this from a biased perspective. I'm just saying that it's just fact.
Yeah.
That's just like a moment. Those people were unique to that situation or that scene in the movie. But what? It's hard for me to talk because one of the folks that I work with, she just died 2 days ago.
Sorry about
Uh,
that.
we had we had a client that died from an overdose 2 days ago. So yeah, we're just kind of dealing with that at the moment. Um, yeah, I've met people from all walks of life in the sector that I work in. So yeah, it ranges. So yeah.
Something I didn't understand until I watched the movie a couple times and did some research was you remember that snail joke at the beginning of the movie?
Snail?
Yeah, the Roger is telling them a snail joke.
Yes, 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 yes.
Well, I didn't
I
know
don't. I
this.
don't remember. I don't remember the full the breakdown, but I do remember the snail joke.
Well, I don't remember the whole joke, but I didn't know that the joke was symbolically representing surviving the streets.
Mm,
On IMDb, it kind of dug into that. It said that symbolically in the joke, the man represents the streets and the snail represents just a random person falling victim to the streets. The size difference between the two represents how small we are, showing how easy it is for the streets to tear you apart and not think about it.
so the snail moves so slow that it's going to embrace and get swarmed by the streets because it's moving so slow. It can't just like pass the streets. It has to. It moves such at a slow pace that it's in the streets. By the time it comes out, it will be a part of the streets,
Right.
kind of thing, right?
Yeah.
Am I understanding that right? Or
I believe so, yeah.
but what? So if that's symbolic in that, like, what is it? Who is he? What is the? Who is the snail in the story? Is he saying Hoyt's the snail, or is he saying Alonso's the snail, or
Well, from the movie's perspective, I'd almost feel like Hoyt would be the snail. And at
yeah?
one point, Alonso had to have been the snail before he
Mm,
became the man.
mm, yeah. So okay, it's like it's not. It's yeah. It's like not. Oh my god, that's deep. It's like foreshadowing in a way, but
Yeah.
like it's like Roger is telling. It's like it's warning him.
And if you remember in that scene, Alfonso tells Hoyt that it's bullshit, it doesn't mean anything, which is kind of interesting.
Huh. I gotta go. I have to go watch that scene. That specific.
And then the kind of messed up part is, well, you know what happens to Roger.
Yeah, that's. I hate that part. That part's sad to me. Roger seemed like a really good guy.
But the interesting thing about this movie that I liked so much is it felt so violent, but only like two people actually died in the whole movie. Like, I don't know how it felt so dark and violent, but it did, and it worked really well.
Yeah, only two people died, Roger and Alonso.
Yeah, but it felt
Yeah, it's very
watching
gritty,
it
very
felt like it was more.
very gritty, very gritty. It's Antoine Fuqua and David Ayer's writing. Like like I really wish they would collaborate again
Yeah,
on things because David Ayer has become like the director and some of his movies when he shoots them they have kind of like that grittiness that Training Day had, like
right.
but I would love to see a collaboration between them two again. Like, have you ever watched End of Watch?
I do not, but I actually do have it in my library. I just haven't watched it yet. I got
Watch it.
lots
Watch
of
it.
movies.
You got a library in there, yeah.
Yeah.
Watch it. Watch End of Watch, brother.
All right.
Because
I'll have.
that's David Ayer as well. I think that was like after. I think that's his first movie he directed after the whole Training Day stuff. More writing, but like he did Suicide Squad, he did End of Watch, he did Bright, which is like that Will Smith kind of superhero fantasy movie on Netflix.
Oh, I've
It's
watched that. That was
yeah,
kind of odd movie, but yeah.
very odd, but yeah, there's that grittiness. You feel like you're in like a Training Day universe in a
Right.
sense, like the way the MCU and the Marvel stuff, but it's not Training Day obviously, but you just feel like End of Watch is the closest thing I feel
I'll have to
that's to
check that
that,
out.
but check it out. We should talk about that at some point too.
Yeah, that'd be fun.
Yeah, Terry, I hate to cut this short, but it's 4:10,
All right.
and I gotta go to. I don't want to be late for
All
this
right.
other thing, but I want us to. What are your thoughts? How do we? Is
I
there a way you want to end this off, or maybe this will be part one of a two-parter, or what are you thinking? What are your thoughts?
it don't matter to me either way. We could either do a part one and part two, or just kind of cut it up here. It don't really matter. If you want to talk more about the film, then we can do it in two parts.
Yeah. Do you have more that you wanted to touch on for Trinity?
Not a whole lot more, but I could probably think of a lot more stuff if we want to do another video, another audio.
All right. So why don't we? Okay. So we can make this part one, and then part two, because we want to do Gladiator, right? We're gonna do
Right,
Gladiator.
right.
So whatever you have left for Training Day, you could bring it into that, and then we will transition into Gladiator on part two.
Okay.
If you agree,
That's
all
fine with
right.
me. And then part three, we could do the end of watch since you like that movie a lot.
Yes, 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 yes. I'll rewatch it as well. It'll force me to watch it.
All right. Thank you so much for letting me have you today. It was a lot of fun.
Terry, it was amazing. I appreciate it. We're gonna touch base offline and then figure this out. Because are you releasing this episode
Um,
anytime soon? Like, will this be coming out in the upcoming week?
uh, I was thinking about uploading it next Monday. I like having my episodes upload Monday night, and so
Monday night.
next
Okay.
so July 5th.
Oh, okay. Yeah, that makes sense. That I'll do the same. I'll post it your week as well, and then we just cross promote it, and yeah, that
All
makes sense.
right,
We'll post part one
all
that
right.
week. Yeah.
Yeah, I've actually started the whole YouTube thing. I've been trying to take my old audios and put them on YouTube.
Oh, send me a link. Send me a link to it. I'll subscribe, and then you subscribe to mine, and we'll keep in touch on that stuff. And then yeah, we'll plan part two.
All right. Thank you so much.
Terry, it was great speaking with you. Thanks so much.
No problem.
Cheers, brother.
Cheers.
All right, blue text. Yes.
All right.
I have my wallet. Shit.
Hey, give it to me.
Yeah, just take it. All right, we'll talk offline.
All right. Bye.
Thanks, dude. Okay, cheers.
Cheers.